Welcome to Shivering Timbers Dojo. Tonight, I'm not going to do a demonstration video. I'm going to do a little bit of talking. I don't usually do that. I do the demonstration videos, as I've said before, because my work carries me away from the dojo, sometimes for a month or two at a time. My students have asked me to put this stuff down. There are no online resources for a lot of what I teach. Some of what I teach, yes, there are other people who show the same things, very similar ways. And I'm happy to point students in to those resources, point them in that direction. Hey, look what these guys do. It's very similar. Some of it just isn't for a lot of reasons. So it is my responsibility to then make sure that we do this stuff right. And I made a mistake. So orange belt Kempo, Japanese stranglehold. I demonstrated it wrong. We did the wrong video. You're supposed to add more strikes. Why did I do it wrong? Aren't you supposed to know this stuff? Yes, and it's fairly easy stuff. Why did I do it wrong? Well, I conflated it with another move from Tadori Jiu-Jitsu. And if you do a lot of different martial arts, as I have done, then you start to see the similarities between the martial arts. You start to see how certain moves, you're just going to see them over and over again. Why? Because they work. Because, you see them over and over again because, from that move, and that's pretty darn effective, and people just are going to do it. Often with differences, but essentially it's, at some point it's all just jiu-jitsu. It's all just karate. It's all kind of, and then you're like, yeah, I get this. So when you see other styles and you're like, oh yeah, that's very similar to what I do. Haha, yes, I could do that. Well, so I have a book. Here's the book. And I have all my stuff written in here. It is not the only place I have it. Learned a long time ago, don't keep one hard copy. A lot of what I do, I have some video resources of. So I wrote it down, and then when I wrote it down, I made sure to keep several copies. I got copies on my computer. I've got copies now on the cloud. So, have a fire, something bad happens. I've got access to this information because it took me a long time to write it down in my words. Now, this is what I really want to focus on. I made the mistake because as I was looking at the entry over here in the Kempo for, yes, here's my Kempo orange belt. Yes, here is Japanese stranglehold. And I looked at it. I didn't look very closely. I just kind of glanced and, like, oh, yeah, elbow and go. And then it turns out you're supposed to elbow and then hammer fist and then elbow again. And it's like, oh, yeah, more strikes. Because the jiu-jitsu version has less strikes, more wristy-twisty. The Kempo version has more strikes, less wristy-twisty, which, you could expect. One's jiu-jitsu, one's Kempo, one's striking, one's grappling. Although you get a lot of grappling in your striking and you get a lot of striking in your grappling sometimes, depending on what you're doing. That's fine. And I was looking at some other people do Kempo videos to see how it compared with mine. We do AIKKA style Kempo. That's what I learned from Sensei Myron up in Alaska. And AIKKA is like, geez, where's that come from? So if you get into the lineages, basically a lot of it comes from Tracy Kempo, but it is different than Tracy Kempo, and not appreciably, not enough that if you walk into a Tracy thing knowing what I'm teaching, you're going to see their stuff and go, oh yeah, you're doing that. Okay, yeah, I can catch right up. No problem. Again, like I said, it's all just karate. At some point, you're just hitting the guy, in a efficient fashion, which is good. But I want to, again, make sure I'm doing this right, and I did this wrong. So the point of the video tonight is write your stuff down. You're like, I'm a boxer. Why in the heck would I write stuff down? Good question. Writing down jab, jab, cross is probably not going to help you further your career as a boxer. However, writing down your training tools, writing down combos that you want to work on, writing down how you want to train on your shadow boxing, how you want to train on your stepping, footwork drills, do that. Same thing with wrestling. Write down combos, throws to various submissions, or not submissions, I guess pin attempts, things like that. Whatever you do, writing it down focuses in your head. It has been proven that to write notes of a material helps keep it in your head better. And we keep it in our head better so that we can translate it. This is a lot of material. This is Tadori Jiu-Jitsu right here. This is, all of this. All of this is Tadori Jiu-Jitsu. There's a ton. That's why I keep making tons of those videos, because there's a ton of this material. Oh my goodness. Danzanru, there's a ton of Danzanru and right here. And this isn't all of Donzenru. I don't know all the different boards. There's tons of boards that I haven't learned, like the police boards. I haven't really gotten into a lot of it. I probably know already, but I don't know that I know it. Again, there's more to be had here. Jikaru, there's not much. No, that's it. That's Jikaru. So it depends on the style, And if you learned a bunch of stuff, make videos, write it down, but absolutely, more than just make the video, write it down, get it in a written format where you can review it and you can go back and say, did I do it right? Did I do it wrong? Sometimes we get things right. Sometimes we get things wrong, but you can catch yourself and keep yourself honest. That's what I'm doing here, and that's why I'm talking tonight. So coming out soon, you'll see a correction video for Japanese stranglehold. Slap my wrist. Bad sensei, I showed a wrong thing. I didn't even show it wrong. What I showed was simpler. We're just going to add some more to it. Yeah. Hit them a lot. There you go. But really, the focus is, some people definitely focus on doing one martial art, doing it well, and the old, do not fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks, fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. Sure. I never got that opportunity in my career. My career has been a lot of different martial arts. So it is. So what do I have to focus on? I have to focus on knowing it, teaching it. And I tell you what, if you write it down, if you write it all down, you can teach it. And if you can teach it, that's that next step of learning. So one thing I will say that I do agree with this step, there's 3 stages to learning. Learning it. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to learn how to do it. And then you got to do it. You got to practice it, do it over and over. And then you have to teach it. And once you start teaching it and seeing people with other body types and other body builds and other, oh, their knees work better. They can get that bend. My knees are shot. It's hard for me to bend sometimes. It's hard for me to get up and down sometimes because my poor knees don't have any cartilage left in them. So I will absolutely make movement decisions based on my body. Somebody else's body's going to be different. By teaching that, I can make it better for them, and I can understand the principles behind the moves. Because Kempo especially is one of those, they teach principles. Sure, you learn 5 different strikes, but if you watch my videos, you're going to find out it's not about learning the 5 different strikes. It's never going to happen in the street, 5 strikes in a row. What's going to happen is you're going to learn the principles behind those, and you're going to use a couple of them. Same thing with the jiu-jitsu. You're going to see me teach a lot of different moves in a row, especially under Tadori, and it's about teaching the principle. And once you start teaching it, you see the principles of, oh, you could do 5 different things there. Oh, you could pull this from this move and put it in here if you need to. Absolutely. But really where you see that is when you start teaching it. And to teach properly, you got to remember it. And to remember it, and believe me, you've been doing this stuff as long as I have, darn near 30 years, you got to write stuff down to remember it. That's what helps. And then the motion, once you add the muscle memory to this, to the writing it down, it really solidifies your hand. Aha! And then once you can teach it well, once you start teaching it well, it starts coming to your head, and you can just do the move without thinking it. And that is what truly makes any move useful, is to be able to perform it under stress. When you're in pain or scared or just maybe not feeling all that great, but you can do that move because your body knows it, you know it, you've taught it, you understand it. So, y'all stay safe out there. Hope you're enjoying your holidays. If you don't have a book, get one. Start writing it down in your words. I don't give this to my students and say, hey, read this page, it'll tell you everything we do. It won't happen. It doesn't work. I give them the moves and I say, this is the name of the move. Now you write it down in your own words, because then you understand what you said, and that's going to work in your brain to go to the next step of translating that into motion. So, enjoy your holidays. Work on your books.